Over the years that Predator 2 was in production, from the script going through multiple revisions, finding the right cast members, and keeping the story continuing from the first film, we've seen many changes throughout its progression. While the first film originally starred Jean-Claude Van Damme as the alien hunter until he was replaced, the second film also had potential Hollywood actors that could have joined the cast. But one of them that seems to really stick out is the time Steven Seagal was trying to get a role in the film, but things didn't really seem to fit what was planned during the script and what the director, Stephen Hopkins, had in mind. Here's an interesting story of how this went down. This was reported by Howard Gorman during an interview with Stephen Hopkins. Howard Gorman is a journalist, screenwriter, and author, among his many accomplishments. This story has also made its way onto other news websites like Joe Blow and Scream Horror Mag. This interview with Stephen Hopkins marks the 30th anniversary of when Predator 2 was released. It's a good video that brings up some information that some of us didn't know, but I'll bring up the finer details so we can get right to the point of the video. Some of it is actually pretty funny, so here we go. It starts off where Stephen reflects how filming was different during that time. They had so much trouble having an African American take the lead in an action movie. It was a rare thing to see, but originally Arnold was going to take part, but he changed his plans at the last second. Another actor that was mentioned is Steven Seagal. He wanted to get a role in the film, and this is what Stephen Hopkins said. Seagal was on board, and I had to go have a meeting with him at his house, which was one of the craziest afternoons I've had, sort of to talk him out of doing it. It was a bizarre, he's a very unusual, slightly twisted kind of guy, and in the end, I couldn't see myself doing it with him. I didn't feel right. He wasn't the kind of hero. I thought it would just turn into a cheesy, it's got plenty of cheese now, but it's kind of cool cheese, I think, as opposed to uncool cheese. He was desperate to do it. I went up to his house. He crushed my hand, and he took me into a room where all the walls were covered with guns. He told me he wanted to play a CIA psychiatrist who is also a martial arts expert and carried a gun. I listened to him for a long time, and he was clearly a little crazy at the time. I said, "Oh, this is different from the way we were going, so I guess we shouldn't do it." Then he became really keen to do it, and he threw his arm around me on the way out, and he said, "I want you to come to my ranch in Santa Barbara because I've got a grenade launching range there, so we can go and launch grenades together." I said, "Yeah, great, we'll do that," but that didn't happen. Sorry, I'm not a fan of his, so. They talk about how Dutch was supposed to come back and the opening scene would include these guys playing on a golf course. A helicopter lands, and there's a guy with white hair playing golf. He turns around and it's Arnold with a scar across his face. He would team up with Danny Glover later on. Mr. Hopkins also spoke to Jim Cameron, which he used to work for. Jim said that he wanted Arnold to do Terminator 2. Because they weren't allowed to make specific changes to the script in Predator 2, they did adjust and make possible changes that could have saved the film even without Arnold. As the climate was getting hotter down there, the gangs were also an issue during filming. There was a real gang war going on at the time, so they hired the Crips to protect them. During a rooftop scene with Danny Glover, after the Predator threw his spear, the director said, "Cut," but shooting was still occurring somewhere nearby. A guy in his shorts was firing his gun at them. It seemed like a neighbor who was disturbed by the noise during filming. When they had around 2,100 copies of the movie, they sent out 700 copies to small areas. Then they sent out another 700 which had more visual effects, and then the final 700 which had even more added footage. Stephen Hopkins even added this statement. "Last year, Peter Levy, the cinematographer, and I did a new 70mm version, so I think they were going to release it this year for the 30th anniversary, but I think the last Predator movie bombed." Perhaps this could be a reason why an updated version of Predator 2 was not released this year during November. It would have been the best time to celebrate the 30th anniversary, but nothing happened. The interview gave us a look into some unknown aspects of Predator 2 during its production. Despite the fans wanting Dutch to return, we did get Mike Harrigan, which I think was still a great choice for the lead role. So what did you think about the idea of Steven Seagal being in the movie? Do you think it would have been a bad idea or a good idea? And give me your reason down in the comments section. Thanks for watching. This is Acid Glow, and I'll see you in the next video.